What's up, YouTube? This is Concordia Jedi. I'm Asher. I just saw The Last Jedi opening night on the 14th, and I want to let you guys know I loved the film. I thought it was excellent. I think Rian Johnson did a great job. And before I get into anything, there will be spoilers in this video, so click away right now if you don't want to see anything. This will be, I believe, the most divisive Star Wars film in history. This is going to be a movie you love or a movie you hate. So few people are going to find a middle ground with this. With that being said, I'm going to go over some of the big reasons why I feel this way. So before we get into this, I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to get out of here before the spoilers happen. Reason number one, this feels like a different kind of Star Wars film. There is plenty of space action in this, there's plenty of action, just everything that happens in Star Wars, but there's something about it that makes this film feel different. Rian Johnson, who I think did a great job with this film, has taken the franchise in a different direction than we've seen from Star Wars. And I can't really place my finger on it so much, but a lot of stuff happens in this film. There are plenty of instances, even the camera work, the cinematography makes this feel like such a different film than we've seen from Star Wars. A great example of this is, and here's where the spoilers come in, so click away if you really don't want this spoiled, but when Kylo Ren is about to shoot on Leia's bridge, like we saw in the trailer, we think he's going to kill his mother like he killed Han Solo, but he decides not to. Right after that, 2 TIE fighters fired torpedoes onto the bridge, blowing up the bridge, and sucking Leia out into space. It's here where we think Leia is dead. She is no more. They've written her character off. And we even get that same feeling when we see her body floating out in space. There's a beautiful theme. There's like a slow piano playing Leia's theme, and we see ice crystals slowly start to form over her face and her hand. But we then see her eyes open and her hand extend. Then the Force theme plays. She pulls herself with the Force over to the destroyed bridge and over to the door. She must have been putting some sort of shield around herself with the Force. But they get her inside and take her immediately to intensive care. Now, what happens in this scene is so divisive amongst so many fans. Some are going to say this is where they should have killed her off because she can't make it to 9, because Carrie Fisher sadly passed away. And some are going to say this was an absolutely incredible thing to witness. I'm on the latter end of the spectrum. I think this was incredible, especially in terms of the cinematography. What we see with Leia when she's in space, the crystals slowly forming over her body, these are things that, when seeing it, I was like, this is completely new to Star Wars. Just the way it was shot made it feel like a different movie. And I think not for the wrong reasons. I think for the best reasons. There are also some incredible shots on Ahch-To. The aerial views of the island, some of the scenes with Rey training with her lightsaber. Scenes with the lightsabers in general are shot in a way that makes it feel incredibly different. Reason number 2, killing off 2 of the biggest villains in this new trilogy. So first, we'll talk about the least important here. Phasma. Finn gets into a fight with Phasma on board Snoke's Star Destroyer, as the whole thing is falling apart. Finn uses a Stormtrooper riot baton and is able to smash Phasma in her helmet and reveal one of her eyes underneath. As she's on the ground, she looks at him and says, "You were always scum." Finn replies with, "Rebel scum." And then, as the ship falls apart around Phasma, she falls through the hangar floor and into the fires below, where she dies. So, now we're going to go on to the really big one. They kill off Snoke. Yes, the new Emperor, the supreme leader of the First Order, is killed off by Kylo. Basically, Rey turns herself over to Snoke because she thinks that Kylo can be saved and brought back to the light. When she's brought before Snoke, Snoke is gloating. He takes Luke's lightsaber from her and puts it on the throne next to him. And as he's gloating, he puts Rey in some sort of force stasis, and he tells Kylo to execute Rey. Instead of doing that, Kylo puts his lightsaber in front of Rey like he's about to kill her, but secretly behind his back, he uses the Force to turn the lightsaber on Snoke's throne and stab right through Snoke's side, and then cut him in half as the lightsaber gets pulled into Rey's hand. It's an incredibly brutal death. A lot of the lightsaber deaths in this are extremely brutal. But yeah, they kill off Snoke. And one of the reasons this is going to be divisive is because people are going to say that they killed off Snoke too soon. And I'm going to agree with that. I think that we didn't get enough of a chance to see how powerful Snoke could be. But, on the other hand, now that Kylo is the new Supreme Leader, we're going to get to see just how far his evil really goes. He's become so unhinged in this film. You just see it. He's almost mental with how angry he is. He's trying to repress his inner light so much and just trying to bring out so much of his anger and darkness. And I think in the long run, it's going to turn out for the best. Reason number 3, destroying the Skywalker lightsaber. So there's a scene in this movie where Rey and Kylo both get into a tug of war with the lightsaber as the object they're both trying to get. They keep pulling and pulling harder and harder, putting so much stress on the lightsaber that it starts to shake. And when they finally do reach the end of that tug of war, the saber breaks in half. Now, we see that Rey has both sides of the saber at the end of the movie when she's in the Millennium Falcon. But this is going to be a huge sin to many fans of the series who say you cannot touch the Skywalker lightsaber. That is a sacred relic. Well, they not only touched it, they broke it in half. Now, damaged lightsabers can be repaired, and I think that either she's going to repair it or she's going to do something with it. But I don't think we've seen the end of it just yet. But this is a small sin compared to what happens with reason number 4. Reason number 4, Luke Skywalker himself, the man we've all waited to see for 2 years. Now, this film takes Luke Skywalker in a direction we never thought we'd see Luke Skywalker going. He's not the confident, upstart Jedi that we saw in Return of the Jedi. This Luke is a jaded, grizzled old man who holds nothing now but contempt for the Jedi Order and hatred for himself over what he perceives as his failure. Now, I love what they did with Luke in this film, and I think that aside from 1 or 2 things, this was the right direction with Luke to go. But I think the biggest point of contention regarding Luke in this film is not the way he trains Rey or his views of the Jedi, but it's his death. Yes, Luke Skywalker dies in The Last Jedi. Now, the way he dies, I'm not going to spoil here. I think it's something you need to see. Regardless, it involves a Force illusion that he projects to Kylo Ren. And when he does die, he dies on Ahch-To, staring at the sunset. And it's one of the most beautifully shot scenes I have ever seen in Star Wars. But this is going to be the thing that I think is going to make fans either love or hate this movie, is Luke Skywalker's performance. Now, Mark Hamill does an excellent job as Luke Skywalker. I think this is the best performance as Luke he's given since Return of the Jedi. And I loved it. I love this film. But good Lord, this is going to piss off so many people. The way they kill off Luke is beautiful, but to many fans, it's not going to make a ton of sense, and I can honestly understand that. I did not get it at first. I had to see it twice before I realized it. But when you go into this movie, try to keep an open mind, and don't let any of the reviews hype you up or scare you too much. That's my advice. So those are the 4 big reasons, I think, why this film is going to be so divisive amongst fans. And my opinion on the film hasn't changed much. I think it is a fantastic film. It might be one of my favorites. And I think, yeah, it's fantastic, if only a little bit disjointed at times. There are times where the pacing doesn't match up. But overall, I think Rian Johnson has delivered a fantastic experience to Star Wars fans. So there you have it, everyone. Those are my thoughts. I want to know what you guys thought of The Last Jedi. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Leave your comments below. Give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you all next time. This is Concordia Jedi. May the Force be with you.